Welcome to Amigos IAS Academy. In today's video, we shall be discussing about genome editing technology. Why is this topic important? The topic is important because India has become the first country to introduce rice varieties by using genome editing technology as announced by our Union Agricultural Minister, Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan. So that's why we have to discuss what is the importance of genetic engineering, what is the objective of genetic engineering, what are the applications of genetic engineering, and what is the difference between your GM crops and genome edited rice variety, and what is the regulatory framework which is present in India with regards to your GM crops and the uses of genome editing rice. So these are the particulars which we shall discuss in today's video. Now, first and foremost, what is the relevance of genetic engineering or genome edited rice for your UPSC examination? It is covered under your GS paper 3 under the section of agriculture and science and technology. Any new developments in science and technology has the scope to be asked in your mains examination. So the first one, there is an MCQ which we shall discuss at the end of the video. After discussing today's topic, you will be able to solve this MCQ. First, what is genetic engineering is the first question. It is direct manipulation of genome of any organism using advanced DNA technology is your genetic engineering. So what are we doing in genetic engineering? We are either altering or adding or removing any gene from the DNA of the organism. So what are we doing? We are either adding, removing or altering any gene which is present in the DNA of the organism. That is the main process of genetic engineering. For example, if you take BT cotton, I think you all know about the BT cotton. Why is BT cotton called as genetically modified crop? Because we are introducing Bacillus thuringiensis, which is a bacteria which has certain toxins which are harmful for the pest. So to protect the crop from the pest, we are introducing Bacillus thuringiensis into the cotton plants so that they will become resilient towards the pest attacks. This process of introducing Bacillus thuringiensis into the cotton plant is done using your genetic engineering. So what we can say, by using genetic engineering, we are getting the desired characteristics out. So either it in agriculture or in animal husbandry, by using genetic engineering, we can get the desired traits required. Now, what are the objectives of your genetic engineering? The first objective is to gene silencing, removal of genes, gene editing, and fourth one is creating new genes. So the first is gene silencing. Any gene which is detrimental to human or plant can be silenced, that is, it can be muted by using your genetic engineering tools. The second one is removal of genes. Any genes which may cause any genetic disorder in humans can be removed by using genetic engineering. Third one is gene editing. Any gene can be edited, modified, altered to get the required traits in humans or plants. And fourth is creating new genes. For example, introduction of foreign bacteria into the plants, like example of BT cotton. So these are the objectives of your genetic engineering. Now, what are the methods which are used to get the required or desired traits by using genetic engineering? So there are majorly three important methods which are used as part of your genetic engineering procedures. The first is recombinant DNA technology. We shall discuss this on some other day, but for today's video, we shall concentrate on gene editing and gene silencing. So what do you mean by gene editing and how is it different from your gene silencing? So under your gene silencing, you are muting the action of any particular gene which is present in the DNA. But when coming to gene editing, you are either modifying it, you are either removing the gene or you are either adding any gene to the present DNA. So this is the difference between gene editing and gene silencing. In gene silencing, you are muting the action of any particular gene in the DNA. But in gene editing, you are either adding, removing or modifying the present gene in the DNA. So this is the difference between your gene editing and gene silencing. Now, what are the applications of genetic engineering? The genetic engineering has wide array of applications from industrial to agriculture and even in pharma industry. So for example, it can be used in agriculture. As in the starting of the video, we have discussed about your BT cotton. So BT cotton helped in making cotton plants resilient to pest attacks. So that is also one of the application of your genetic engineering in agriculture. The second is cancer treatment. So the genetic engineering is a non-invasive treatment. It means it doesn't require any surgery to be performed on the patient. So it is a non-invasive and it is much less painful when compared to your traditional procedures. So less pain, and that too with advanced technology, with advanced efficiency, you can treat the cancer. And drug research, it can be used to produce different vaccines to stop the spreading of any disease. And gene therapy, so if anyone is suffering from any genetic disorders, through using genetic engineering, you can silence the particular gene, thereby helping humans to survive. And it is even used to treat diseases like cystic fibrosis and sickle cell anemia. So these are the applications of genetic engineering which you can use while you are writing your mains answer. Next, okay, till now we have discussed about what are the objectives of genetic engineering, the methods used in genetic engineering, and what are the applications. Now, we are frequently listening to the words GM crops and genome edited rice. What is the difference between GM crops and genome edited rice? Now, first, what is full form of GM crops? It is genetically modified crops. So GMO means genetically modified organisms. GM crops means genetically modified crops. Here we are using a foreign substance. So what are we using? A foreign substance which is introduced into plant or human to get the desired trait. For example, again the example of BT cotton. So in normal cotton plant, we are introducing a bacterium which is a foreign substance to the crop, that is your Bacillus thuringiensis. So this is where a foreign substance is being introduced into the human or plant or animal to get the desired traits. Such things are called your genetically modified organisms. Coming to your genome edited crops. In genome edited crops, the DNA of the organism is either modified or any addition is done to the DNA or any removal is done to the DNA. Now here if you observe, there is no foreign substance. So that is the major difference between your GM crops and genome edited rice varieties. Here a foreign substance is being introduced into the plant, but here there is no introduction of any foreign substance. What we are using? We are just manipulating the DNA. We are either modifying the DNA, we are either adding some new genes to the DNA, or we are removing the any genes of the DNA, but there is no addition of the foreign substance. This is the major difference between your GM crops and genome edited rice variety. And third one, GM crops are regulated under the rules of your Environmental Protection Act. Here it is not regulated under, not under rules of Environmental Protection Act of 1986. So these are the difference between your GM crops and genome edited crops. This is very important for basic understanding of the genome edited crops. Now, under gene editing, you again have three different mechanisms like SDN1, SDN2 and SDN3. So these are the various mechanisms under gene editing. The first one is what is SDN standing for? SDN means site directed nuclease. Make a note of this. Site directed nuclease. Under SDN1 process, what we are doing? We are either inserting some genes or deleting some genes from the DNA of the organism. So under your SDN1, you are either inserting or deleting any genes from the genome of the organism. What is the difference of SDN1 and SDN2? Under your SDN1, that is site directed nuclease, add or delete of any gene. What is SDN2? Site directed nuclease 2. Under this, instructions to repair given to cell, and cell copies these instructions and it does the work. So in SDN2, you are giving the instructions to the cell to repair and the instructions are copied by the cell. So this is the difference between your SDN1 and SDN2. Now what is the difference in SDN3? That is site directed nuclease 3. In this, foreign substance is introduced. Foreign substance is introduced. So what is the procedure of gene editing used under your GM crops? In GM crops, you are using SDN3, where a foreign substance is being introduced. What is the mechanism of gene editing used in genome edited rice? SDN1 and SDN2 is introduced. So this is very, very, very important. Please don't ignore this topic. SDN1, either we are adding or deleting any genes. SDN2, instruction to cell is given to repair. SDN3, foreign substance is being introduced. So in SDN3, GMO is involved, that is genetically modified organisms. But genome editing is done using SDN1 and SDN2. So these are the mechanisms under your gene editing. Now, we have discussed what is the difference between GM crops and genome editing rice varieties. Now, what is the regulatory framework which is present in India to give permission for genetically modified organisms to be introduced into the market? So, the regulatory mechanism which is present is Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee. This committee will look after the regulatory framework of your genetically modified organisms. Now, under which ministry it is present? It is present under your Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Make a note of this. It is present under your Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. And it is regulated under the rules of Environmental Protection Act 1986. Why? The major function of this Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee is to see usage of any hazardous microorganisms in both industry and agriculture. So the main function of your Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee is to see usage of most hazardous microorganism, either it be in industry or agriculture. That's why it is covered under the rules of Environmental Protection Act of 1986. Now, till now we discussed the basics of the topic genetic engineering. Now coming to the article which is published in the newspaper, that is new variety of genome edited rice. What are the two new varieties of genome edited rice introduced? The first one is DRR Dhan 100. Now make a note of DRR Dhan 100. It is also called as Kamala. This is important. So Kamala is another name of your DRR Dhan 100. Now it is developed from which variety is the next question. This is developed from the popular variety, that is Samba Masuri. Okay, so from Samba Masuri we made genetic engineering and we introduced the new variety, that is DRR Dhan 1. The next variety is Pusa DST Rice 1. Pusa DST Rice 1. What is the parent variety of this Pusa DST Rice 1? It is MTU 1010 variety. So, DRR Dhan 100 is also known as Kamala. Its parent variety is your Samba Masuri, and Pusa DST Rice 1 is the second variety, and its parent rice variety is your MTU 1010. This is important. Now, the next question is, who developed these varieties? The institution which is responsible for development of your varieties is Indian Council of Agricultural Research, that is your ICAR. So ICAR developed these two rice varieties by using genome editing. Now, GM crops are regulated under your Environmental Protection Act of 1986. Why? There is a foreign substance which is being introduced into your GM crops. That foreign substance may have detrimental impact on your environment, human health and wildlife health. That's why it is regulated under EPA 1986. But the government has exempted those crops which are made using SDN1 and SDN2 gene editing technologies. So that's why genome editing rice varieties are outside the purview of your Environmental Protection Act. Why? They are not using any foreign substances, but they are just altering the DNA of the genome. That's why SDN1 and SDN2 technology based interventions are out of your Environmental Protection Act of 1986. That's why they are out of the mechanism of Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee. So there is no need to take permission from Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee for introduction of these genome editing rice varieties. So this is the next difference. GM crops are covered under Environmental Protection Act because they use SDN3 technology, whereas genome editing rice is not covered under Environmental Protection Act because they are using SDN1 and SDN2 technology. What are the uses of genome edited rice varieties? The first use is drought tolerance. With increased climate change, you might have observed increased drought incidence in India. So this increased drought incidence affects the output of agriculture. So the first step is to make the plants drought tolerance, which is done using your genome editing tools. The next is high nitrogen usage efficiency by the plants. Scientists have observed the two rice varieties which are manufactured using genome editing technology has high nitrogen efficiency. And the third one is increased yield even in saline conditions. So with increased water stress, the soil will become more saline. Even in that condition, the plant output is not impacted if you use these genome edited rice varieties. And fourth is it will save irrigation water. Means the water demand by these rice varieties is reduced. And next one is reduce greenhouse gas emission. Now, when the plants become resilient to climate change, automatically the production of the agriculture is not impacted. This ensures increased food security in India. So this is what is ensured with this genome edited rice varieties and increasing nutritious production. Next, a new term is introduced by our Union Agriculture Minister, that is -5 and +10 formula. What is this -5 and +10 formula? The Union Agriculture Minister is saying that the total rice production area should be decreased by 5 million hectares and the total production of rice in the country should be increased by 10 million tons. Are you getting it? So the total area of production of rice should be reduced by 5 million hectares, but the total production of the rice in the country should be increased by 10 million tons, which can be achieved by using genome editing rice varieties in the country. So this is very important. This formula can be used for your mains answer writing. Now what will they do with the 5 million hectares which is reduced from the rice varieties that can be used for production of your pulses and oil seeds? So this is the idea of the government, that is -5 and +10 formula. Now let us solve the MCQ of the day. Consider the following statements regarding genome editing. The genome editing is the ability to change DNA of an organism. The second statement, This technology can add but cannot remove a genetic material from the required site. Select the correct answer. Option A, 1 only. Option B, 2 only. Option 3, both 1 and 2. Option D, neither 1 nor 2. If you observe, genome editing is the ability to change the DNA of an organism. This statement is correct statement. Now observe the second statement. This technology can add but cannot remove. But what did we discuss? We can add, remove, and even we can modify the DNA. So it is not cannot remove. So the second statement is wrong. What is the correct answer for this question? They are asking correct statement. So the option is A, 1 only. Okay. So I think you must have got sufficient information regarding genetic engineering, its applications, its methods, and what is the difference between GM crops and genome edited rice. That's all for today's session. We shall meet in tomorrow's session with a new topic. Till then, happy learning.